Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking updates. So I'm going to be talking about things that I recently talked about on my channel, whether it's first impressions or something that I needed to try out some more. I'm going to give you guys my updated thoughts on each one of these products, and I'm going to start off with the Fenty Pro Filter Instant Retouch Concealer. As you can see, I now have two of these. The first shade I got was 150. It was a light neutral shade and it was way too light. I was gonna go with the 190, but I was just trying to find another neutral shade, so I went with 210. And this one's a little bit too dark, so I have been mixing them while I've been trying them. So if you've seen in the description box me listing this as what I was wearing underneath my eyes, it's been these two mixed. So I definitely actually have an opinion on these now. It doesn't look like it's that big of a difference in the tube, but this is too dark for, it doesn't look like it is, but I promise you on its own it's too dark for me. So I would have to go with a yellow or cool tone or mix these two in order for it to work. But color aside, I like this because it's one of the only matte concealers that I have tried that I've actually liked. I definitely like it best with my Becca Under Eye Anti-Fatigue Primer. I feel like it looks its absolute best with that. That product really makes this look even smoother, but I have found that I've only been testing this just to give you guys an update. I don't actually want to reach for it. I think that the coverage is good. My review definitely still stands with that. I do think that mature eyes, I'm not sure you're going to get along with this. I am very just not in love with this concealer. I could definitely live without it. I think it's going to sit in my drawer and collect dust. So that's unfortunate, but I don't think it's a bad one. I feel like if you like matte concealers, you're still going to like this one. But for me, I'm not going to continue to use this anymore now that I know like it lasts all day. I do get a little bit dry underneath my eyes, but not as dry as some other concealers that are matte. I feel like my eyes even look better at the end of the day than when I was using Tarte Shape Tape, and I feel like it's because this is a little bit thinner, so it doesn't end up being as cakey. Of course, if you add layer upon layer, that could be different, but those are my thoughts on the Fenty concealer. Next up is a product that was sent to me by TATCHA. This is the Violet C Brightening Serum. Now, I've only been using this for almost 2 weeks. Like, I think I'm just a couple days shy of using this for 2 weeks, and I like this. I like this so far. I feel like it's made a slight difference. Previously, before using this, I was using the C Firma Drunk Elephant Serum, and I feel like I like this one just a little bit better. I'm not certain yet, but I wanted to give you guys just a quick little update because you guys have been asking me about this. I'm very sensitive sometimes to vitamin C, and this one has not broken me out. It hasn't had any issues with it, no irritation or anything like that. So it's very strange though. Whenever I open this and I, squirt it out, I really anticipated that TATCHA smell, and it doesn't smell like that. It smells more like skincare, and it's watery, but it hydrates the skin really well too. So I've been using this in conjunction with my La Mer hydrating serum, and I just feel like my skin's been looking pretty good. Haven't had any irritation from it, so I have been loving this so far. I will keep you guys updated if anything changes or I start to notice a really noticeable difference in my skin. So yeah, that's that one. I feel like because we were just talking about TATCHA that I should talk about this e.l.f. Putty Primer. So here's the deal, you guys. I've tried this several other times, and people, they did not like that I wasn't a huge fan of this. They were talking about the ingredients being identical to the TATCHA Silk Canvas, which is being compared, like this is what it's being compared to. I'm going to put a picture of those side by side on the screen for you, and there's definitely a lot of the same ingredients, but they're in different places. Like the Camilla Silk whatever is way higher up on the list on the TATCHA side, and then on the e.l.f. side it's lower down. So just because something has the same ingredients or similar ingredients doesn't mean it's going to act the same unless they are put in the same exact order and that has the same exact amount. So I have tried this again. I used it with my Laura Mercier foundation that I love so much, and then also the Zellens, I can't remember that name, the Zellens Age Control. I feel like it looked better underneath the more dewy foundation, which was the Zellens Age Control, but I still feel like this is just a little bit drying on my skin. I don't know why. The texture of it, I can definitely see, you know, the comparison. I get the comparison, but when it is completely rubbed in, it does not feel as silky as the Silk Canvas. I would say that this is a good primer, but I don't think that people with dry skin are necessarily going to love it like they do the Silk Canvas. So I don't think that this is bad. So for me, this is not a dupe. I'm sorry. If you love this, that's awesome. But to me, it's not a dupe and nothing that I am going to grab for anymore. Another product that was sent to me, the Viseart Coy Palette. You guys have seen several videos where I've had this on in this description box, and it's usually been in conjunction with one of their 12-pan matte palettes. But I have tried almost every shade in this palette, not all of them, but almost all of them. Oh, I love the shade down at the bottom right here. It is a pink, I don't know if you can see that. Oh, I hope you can see it. It is peach and green and gold, and I absolutely love it. So it's definitely just like the Grand Pro 2. This is the formula, I think it's the first row. So using them wet, you're definitely going to get more impact, but I've just been using them on top of an unset eye, and I've been loving this. I love the colors in here. I think they're beautiful. So if you are considering getting this, I would say go for it, especially if you didn't want to spend the $175 on the big one. I actually really, I don't know, I think I might like this one better than the big one, just so it's compact. I don't know. I like the colors though, and they work well. I realized that I had not updated you guys on the L'Oreal Infallible up to 24-hour fresh wear foundation. I've worn this a few other times. I wore it in that video where I used the e.l.f. Putty Primer, and I had already used this before, so I knew that it looked good on my skin, but it doesn't look good with that primer. I do like this foundation. I find it to wear very well on my skin. I don't think it's cakey or anything like that. I don't think it lasts 24 hours, but then again, it does say up to instead of, oh, it lasts all day. I don't think that you're going to like this if you are dry skin. I definitely think this is normal, combo, and oily, but definitely a good one from the drugstore. The NARS Skin Deep Palette. I actually really like this palette. I still stand by my review that I don't think that you absolutely need this because we all definitely have these shades. And if you have the loaded palette, I really don't think you need this, but it is a good palette. It works really well. I love the mattes in here. I love the shades. I've been kind of playing around with it and doing some smoky eyes here or there, and I think it's a beautiful palette. I just don't think it's a must-have, so I just want to put that out there that I wouldn't run out and grab this. I basically got this just to review. I think I was going to skip this one, but you guys wanted to see it, so if you have the loaded palette, you don't need it. If you don't have any NARS palettes or you're looking for some colors like this, it is a very good palette. I still like this one. The Fenty powders. What are the official name? The Pro Filter Instant Retouch Setting Powder. I have the shade Lavender for brightening and Butter for either you can do underneath your eyes or all over. So I'm gonna say I'm not gonna pick this back up until it is the summertime because I feel like you definitely get a blurred effect. It's definitely lightweight on the skin. I do like this powder. I'm not in love with it, but I feel like I'm gonna like this more during the summertime. So I have stopped using this. However, this purple little guy right here, let me show you. So there's several different brightening shades, and for my coloring, it's this little purple guy. I feel like you can see it's purple better up against the yellow. Hold on. So this is the brightening one right here. I have been loving taking this, especially if I'm just having like a weird pore day. This blurs out the pores really nicely and brightens up the center of my face. So I would literally just take like a fluffy brush, even this little highlighter brush will work, and just go through the center of my face, right here, down the sides of my cheeks and on my chin, and it helps to blur everything out and brighten. So I've been liking this powder for that, and that's usually where I tend to get oily anyway, so I don't look dry or anything like that. But I'm gonna have to try the powder some more during the summer for the rest of my face, because right now it's winter, my skin is combo, and I feel like this is just a little bit too dry for me for the winter months, but I think it's going to be great for the summer. But I had to tell you about how this looks. It reminds me of one of my favorite powders from MAC was the CC in purple. I still have it, and I would do the same thing with that, and I'm kind of glad that we have another option. And how much product you get in that, because you didn't get very much product in the MAC one. I'm pointing over here because that's where my drawer with my powders is. Next up, I want to tell you, I've tried this blush. It does not work for me. This is the e.l.f. Primer Infused Blush in the shade Always Cheeky. I went to order another shade and I just didn't see one that I liked, and this to me is an absolute pass. It just does not really have a lot of pigmentation. I found it to be super powdery, did not like it. But on the alternative, the BUXOM Primer Infused, I think it's Wonderlust Primer Infused, and this is in the shade Mykonos. This actually works. Like, this has a whole lot of pigmentation to it. Like, you got to be careful. And it stayed on, but again, I don't have any issues with my blush staying on. I just wanted to compare the two. So I would not try this. I think it is too powdery and not enough pigmentation, but this line, this is great. And I really like this shade. The Benefit Roller Eye Bright Pencil. So I've been testing this out a lot, because I absolutely love my Milk Liner in BCC for the nude right in here. So I've been trying this one out, and my first impression is I loved that it went into the waterline really effortlessly. Like, it didn't tug or anything like that. But there's a few things I don't like about it. A, you can't roll it back down, and B, it starts to crack and it does not last as long as my Milk liners. I feel like just a few hours in and I'm already starting to get like a little cracky. It's weird, and it starts to dull down just a little bit, whereas I feel like my Milk liner lasts me so long. It looks good for so flippin' long, and it stays. This definitely stays in my waterline, except for right here. I do have a little bit of an issue with it staying on that inner corner. I think this is an okay pencil. I'm going to continue to use it so I can use it up, but I would not repurchase this. I'm definitely sticking with my Milk liner. And then I wanted to, that coconut smell. I knew I smelled coconut in here, and somebody mentioned in the comments that there's coconut oil in here. So let's get into this. This is the MILANI Silky Matte Bronzer. This is the shade number 2. So I used this. I liked the texture of it, but the color was just a little too cool toned for me. So I went ahead and ordered the next one, which again is cool toned and extremely light. I have not used this on my face yet. I was just kind of bummed because I thought it was going to be more of a warm bronzer, just like based on the picture online and the description. So I just wanted to show you. This is number 1, this is number 2. There's not a huge, I mean, in person I feel like there's more of a difference than I can see on camera, but this is extremely light. I have to warn you guys, I told you guys that I got a breakout on the side of my face, and I'm pretty sure that it was this because not only does it have coconut oil in it, it also has cornstarch. I'm kind of iffy. Sometimes I can use products with cornstarch that are not powder, like all over the face powder, but a blush or a bronzer I will kind of dabble in. But the coconut oil is a no-go for me because that can definitely clog your pores. So I just wanted to make sure you guys knew, because I had no idea. When I smelled this, I knew I smelled the coconut, but I just figured they just copied like the coconut bronzer or the Milani butter bronzer, but no, this actually has coconut oil in it. So I just wanted to make sure you guys knew. I'm not putting this one on my face again. I will likely test out this color and then wash it back off. But I just wanted to let you guys know that the first one is not more warm tone like I had anticipated it being. But the formula is really nice. Like, it's really smooth and it blends out really well. It's just like a color and ingredient problem. And then lastly, another product that was sent to me, the Magnify Spice Edition from RIMMEL London. I am so impressed with this palette. I feel like during that video I did with my last Get Ready With Me affordable options, this was one of the only things that worked out for me, and it was just a bad day. I have those kind of days with high-end too, trust me. Like, I've gone into the bathroom and washed off my face and started over, but this was the one redeeming thing in that video. I think that these are so nice. I was impressed, you guys. The pigmentation on these are beautiful. You do have to build some of these shades up, but for the price and everything, I think that this is such a good one. Anywho, that is it. Let me get this off my fingers. I hope you guys enjoyed this update video. Let me know by giving a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!